How you doing? Today I'm going to go over how I assembled my Powermatic 2800B drill press. So you too can do the same thing at home. If you have one or if you're thinking about getting one, you can see what the assembly consists of. Before we get started, feel free to like and subscribe. I really appreciate the opportunity to share my content with you, and I look forward to doing more in the future. With that being said, let's get started.
We're going to start by laying out all our hardware and associated parts for this project. One of the main selling points of this drill press was that it came with a keyless chuck. I really like that idea. For some reason, I got a keyed chuck with this one. After talking to Rockler, they replaced it. Like with all new tools, it's necessary to first clean off the cast iron before you do your assembly. To do this, I usually use mineral spirits. It works great and takes all the finish off. With the cast iron nice and clean, we're next going to apply some Johnson's paste wax to protect all the cast iron surfaces from rust and corrosion. Simply put on about 3 coats, let it dry, and buff it off. From there, you're good to go. With the cast iron protected, we now can begin assembly. Set the shaft on the base and simply hold it in place by hand tightening 4 supplied screws to it. From there, use the supplied Allen wrench to tighten everything down. Next, we're going to install this metal rod with a gear on the end. What it does is as it turns, it grabs the teeth in the shaft and moves the platform up and down as you turn the knob. With the rod installed, we're now going to secure the handle to it by setting it on the flattened end of the rod and securing it with a Allen screw. We next need to remove the geared bar. To do that, we have to remove the retaining collar. With the collar loosened, all you do is simply slide it up and pull the bar out. Now comes the tricky part. Because the geared rod rides on the bar, you have to slide the bar in the opening of the back of the platform and then put everything on as one piece. The manual didn't specify it, but this is the best way to do it. Here you can clearly see the purpose of the handle. One thing to note when installing the rod is you want this arrow facing up. After reinstalling the retaining collar, make sure you leave it so everything's loose enough so the platform can still pivot like so. When using the press, once you get the platform in the desired position, you're able to lock it in with this handle right here. To attach the pole to the base, I removed some of the packaging styrofoam and laid down a blanket so I wouldn't mar up the finish. From there, I just slid the assembly into the motor. Please note, this is not the way the manual says to do it, but some online articles were saying this was the best way to do it. I'm one man, and this is the only way I was able to achieve it by myself. When doing this, by all means, make sure you have another person with you and follow the manual. Also, before we do any lifting, we have to make sure we secure it with the 2 Allen screws. This is the part of the project where you want to make sure you have 2, if not 3 people helping you lift this up. It's a very heavy piece of machinery and you don't want to hurt your back. Also, if you're going to lift it the way I did, make sure you secure the platform first. This was an oversight on my part, and thankfully it wasn't damaged in the process. Well, here it is, standing vertical for the first time. From here, assembly is just focused on the top of the machine. We're going to start by screwing in the 3 threaded handles before securing their nuts in place with a wrench. As you can see, they allow you to smoothly raise and lower the power head as you see fit. Next, we're going to install the RPM control knob. All we have to do is set it on the shaft, put on a washer and a nut, and tighten it in place. Next, we're going to put on the chuck assembly. As I noted earlier, I originally bought this press because it had a keyless chuck, but for some reason, Powermatic gave me a keyed chuck. After talking to my local Rockler store about this, they were more than happy to swap me out with the correct chuck. Like everything else with this tool, the chuck and its assembly came heavily coated in grease. I'm going to follow the same process I did earlier by wiping everything down with mineral spirits and then putting on a brief coat of Johnson's paste wax to protect it. After inserting the shaft into the actual motor housing, I then wanted to make sure I retract the teeth of the chuck all the way before gently tapping everything together with a rubber mallet. Assembly complete, we can now plug it in and test all the systems. The laser alignment system works great. The lighting system also works great. Now the big moment, let's fire it up for the first time and see how it sounds. Sounds great. One thing I really like about this press is the depth control system. Simply pushing the button and slide the collar up and down. Another huge plus about this press is that you're able to adjust RPMs very quickly by simply turning this handle. I also like how you can adjust your control locations to both sides if you're right or left-handed, and that it features a laser accuracy system. The only thing I really don't like about this drill press is that the older version, the fence was a split fence and had a dust collection attachment in the middle. This version doesn't, and I think it would have been very helpful if they used the old style fence on this newer press.
Thanks for watching this video. I really appreciate the time you put into it, and let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to know any problems you have, any issues, so I can help you with my experience, get better as a woodworker, and overcome some of these issues, and us as a community come together to help take care of any problems we have with a press like this. Feel free to like and subscribe, and thank you very much for your time. Have a great day.